And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition of the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 72, your weekly dose of open StarCraft. I'm of course VIP, which I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, one and all. Bienvenidos to our weekly broadcast of the WardiTV Monday. As a reminder, of course, this is a replay cast from events that happened on Monday. So these are going to be replays. We're going to be catching up with those matches that did take place, and we have quite a lot of matches ahead of us. Let us go. Once again, we used to cover the WardiTV Monday live, but due to daylight savings, it now starts very late in Australia. It starts at around 10 p.m. It ends at around like 3 a.m. in the morning, so it goes a little bit late, and unfortunately I'm no longer available in that time slot to cover StarCraft, so that's why we do cover it via replays at a later date instead. But we still cover them nonetheless. And let's go. Up first, we do have a PvZ between Classic and Solar. Bearing in mind, this is going to be now in a post Rongi Cup World, Rongi Cup Thunderfire as well. We've had so many big events over the past 2 months with RSL, with OSC, with Rongi, with Thunderfire, and oh boy, and the StarCraft continues, as of course right around the corner we have the Pigsty Festival qualifier and the Pigsty Festival event. We have RSL Season 1 coming up in the next coming month, and coming to March we do have what? We have Star Zagora, the big offline event happening in Bulgaria. So a lot more StarCraft is ahead of us, and here we go. Up first we do have our quarterfinals. The quarterfinals are actually between Classic and Solar. What was I do quickly? There we go, fix up the races as we're jumping into our first series, jumping into game number 1 on 10,000 feet. Let's go, baby, let's go. When it comes to our broadcast schedule, we're going to be covering the quarterfinals, into the semis, into the grand finals. I do apologize. We initially were scheduled to cast Pigsty Cup this morning. Pigsty Cup was this morning, but unfortunately I was unavailable. We'll be getting to that at the end of the broadcast. We're getting into that as we have an update in regards to the bunnies. But otherwise, we're jumping in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left hand corner. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. Let's go. We have our PvZ and we are loading into 10,000 feet. A bit of a rare sight in this matchup, I'll be honest. 10,000 feet is a smaller map of the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground. All-ins are favored on this map, and if you know anything about Solar and ZVP, you will know that he does almost nothing but all-ins. So non-stop all-ins is what we're expecting here by Solar. We of course did recently cover Solar against herO in the grand finals of, I almost said KSL, but I think it was last week's was it last week's Pigsty Cup? Yeah, I think it was last week's Pigsty Cup. And even before that, they did face off in the semifinals of the Thunderfire tournament as well, where Solar did play against herO. But now we get to see how Solar compares against Classic. Classic is a very different kind of player, of course. He is a little bit more macro oriented compared to herO. I would say that Classic has the best PvZ late game in the world. Better than herO, better than MaxPax. Like, that is where Classic is at his best. I would say that herO has stronger early to mid game and more diverse early to mid game as well. So Classic and herO, they're kind of two sides of the same coin. I should also emphasize that it's not like Classic only plays macro. That's not true. Like, Classic, he does diversify his mid game as well. He's not as chaotic as herO, but he can be quite aggressive. He can be aggressive, he can be assertive as well. Classic is not as extreme as Showtime, for example, who is a lot more macro oriented. There we go. Here we go. A little more defensive. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. For now, we do have our hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Solar. We'll see if we do claim our third and how we do expand towards each other. When it comes to the base layout here, the rush distance by ground is short. True. Rush distance is by ground, but when it comes to the defensive setup here, the third base is quite secure. The third and the natural. Because the third base is in front of the natural, you can take your third base, park your army at the third, and your natural is perfectly safe and sound. Whereas typically you'd expand here on the right hand side, and you'd have multiple entrances and multiple attack points for the aggressing player. That's less so the case here on 10,000 feet. So on one hand, the map is smaller, but I would say it is easier to defend on this map, easier to turtle up. We can't invoke DJ and Robo Light anymore. Smurge, baby, smurge. I mean, I'm still awake at that hour. I'm just not available to cast, unfortunately. But that's why we've been casting less European events. So for example, the Firegrow Cups, WardiTV Monday, those are the main ones that come to mind. A Hatchery Cup, true, Hatchery Cup's also another one. So the events that do typically take place like at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. my time, less available to cover. But I mean, that's been the case for the past like 6 months. Like that's true. Has been the case. As double depths, they do shade into the main. Getting one drone so far. Oh. Gets one and going for another. So far, Solar does pull away in time. Oh, barely not. Barely doesn't lose another worker. And so far, a decent defense here. Again, 2 adepts for 1 drone and 1 pair of lings. Not ideal here for a classic. Here comes a follow-up. Again, it was a Stargate opener into Oracle into a 3rd base. The Oracle has arrived, but the queens are keeping up. We have 2 queens here at the natural, and Solar does deflect. Solar, he defends his natural at the same time. Lings, they move out across the map. Will hit the 3rd. Classic is getting in position, and he will lose 1 worker. 1 probe does get picked up. Gets a probe, potentially a pylon. Ooh, barely not. Pylon does survive. And from here, we're waiting for our take of choice. So far, it's been standard opener here by Classic. Interestingly enough, Classic doesn't take the forward expansion. Okay, so he does expand linearly instead. This base is a little bit further away from his opponent, so something like a German taxi is going to be a little bit later when it comes to breaking the 3rd base. Meanwhile, we're waiting for the Forge. Probe is in position. We should be seeing Twilight Council, yep, and Forge. So standard follow-up. We're expecting +1 and Blink. Now, if you've been following PvZ over the past month, over the past almost 2 months at this point, you would know that PvZ has been shifting in the meta. We have been seeing a big rise in popularity of +1 and Charge, not +1 and Blink, as an opener, and it has been very effective. The reason for this is because the standard, the go-to, the meta for a long time in ZVP was to go Ling Hydra or Ling Bane Hydra, and it's very common to skip your Roach Warren. If that's the case, then early charge can punish you. Thankfully, we can see that Solar does get a safety Roach Warren. But what I'm mentioning here is actually how herO 3-0'd Serral, what was it, 2 weeks ago? If you were here, we were casting Thunderfire day 1. herO did take down Serral 3-0, and it was off of a mass amount of charge-based builds. All three games, different kind of timings, different kind of attacks, but always going to charge, always going to +1, and catching Serral with his pants down. Speaking of, yep, there it is, +1 and charge. Now, thankfully, Solar did get a safety Roach Warren, and hopefully he invests into Roaches, right? Hopefully he does invest into Roaches. Hopefully he's able to play it safe. If he does cut some corners, then he can be vulnerable. Oh boy. And so over there we go. Roach speed is on the way. We have a handful of Roaches in production as well. So Solar is playing safe. Double Oracle into the natural. Does get 2 drones. Oh. Does get 2 drones. Once again, nothing major, but Classic does keep the Oracles alive. Behind this charge into Archon production, into eventually Storm. So Classic just building up his solid army, his death ball of an army, I should say. And Solar, are we going to drone? He's getting a 4th base. He's got his 3rd. He's droning up to 3 bases, getting up to 67 workers. But he may choose to cut workers and just make nothing but Roaches and just go for 3 base all in. Oh, as the Oracle dips in for 5 more drone kills. Forcing Solar to replenish those workers. But again, does Solar actually drone up this base? 7 more Roaches on the way. We have the answer. He's all in. Overlord Speed is in production. Remember, Overlord Speed in ZVP, what does that mean? German Taxi. We're loading up all the queens, so it is going to be a 3 base all in. This 4th base is only for Larva. Just for Larva, no drones, no saturation. As we mentioned at the start of the game, 10,000 feet has a very short rush distance by ground, so these all-ins do hit quite hard. They hit quite fast. They would hit this forward base even faster, but again, Classic did take the base a little bit further back, giving himself some precious seconds, and we'll see if Classic can survive. We'll see if he can confirm the all-in. Up! As Oracle does get called out. And massive pickoff. Here come the Drop Lords. As Solar, he's still massing up his army, and he will soon pull the trigger. Now, back in what do we have to defend? We have 1 shield battery here at the 3rd base. We have no battery at the natural. We're lacking some side defense here. Classic, he's not fully aware. Now he knows. Yeah, now he sees. Now he sees, now he knows. Throws down a cannon instantly. Yeah, cannon in the main. That will help defend against the Drop Lord. It's not uncommon to go for a link drop into the main base. More Shield Barrier is going to be on the way as well. But is this too late? Oh, does that the first storm? High Templar exposed. Yeah, High Templar exposed, forcing out a bunch of storms. There's one storm left. Storms are being wasted. Immortals are exposed, and Immortals are going down. Yes, Solar, has he done a decent storm towards the end, but that was the final storm. Yeah, the final storm. Another Immortal goes down. Yeah, just a messy engage here from Classic. Losing all of his Immortals. I say that there's one Immortal left, but he barely has any support. Yeah, barely any support in Solar. He did hit in time. Boys being pulled. Let's pull the boys. Classic trying to hold on. Remember, Classic, he can't afford to lose some workers. Zealots are popping up. Oh my god. Oh no! The Vials! The Vials catch out the Oracle and the Archon. Crazy Vials with Classic. He's holding on. He's holding on for now, losing and bleeding out 4 probes. He needs more Immortals. He needs more Immortals. He needs more Warpins. Again, he also has High Templar. He needs more time for Storm. And Solar's still all in. So he's still all in. You can see here he has some saturation. He has not been droning. He's just transferring. As he's running out of patches in the main base or patches in the natural, he's transferring over towards the 4th base just to keep himself going. Ooh, no battery in the natural. High Templar once again. Oh, all the way. They do pull back. Roaches, they do slip into the main base. There's a cannon in position. So Classic defends the main. They can focus now at the 3rd. Focus on the 3rd base. So far, Classic is holding. He's holding on. Cleans up all the roaches. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Classic. Classic, at one point, he was down to 1 Immortal. Now he's making 2 Immortals at a time. He's up to 4. He's going to soon be up to 6. 6 Immortals, baby. Oh no! The roaches go for flank. Massive Storm. Gets Storm from stuff. 1 Immortal gets picked up. So he's picked up there by Solar. Down to 4 Immortals. But this is not good enough. Another massive storm. There's 1 storm left. Ooh, he does land it. And Solar's running out of steam. He's running out of steam at the same time. He's also catch reinforcements. Classic overextending. Losing an Archon. Jesus, but these roaches are so low. Yeah, they melt so quickly. Remember, the soup is lying to you. The soup is a lie. Again, when it comes to the supplies here, Solar, he's up, what, 50 supply, but it's inflated with Roach Ravager. These Immortals, they have so much more value. Assuming they're protected. Assuming there is a buffer. And Solar, he has to end this soon. Yeah, it's almost gets a Templar. As the Immortals, I mean, there's not really much to protect them. There's no Zealots. Yeah, there's no Charge-Lots, not yet. Storm turns away. Here come the Charge-Lots. Here comes the Warpin, and oh, Solar, he throws down gases, he throws down Infestation, but he's going for Swarm Host. Solar, he's admitting that the all-in has failed, basically. He's admitting that it's not working. He's going to try to transition out. Swarm Host is a bold move. Storm's connecting. Does pick off 1 Immortal. Does get 1 Immortal. Now Stormhosts, they do have potential. They can be very cost efficient, for sure. So this is a way to try to recover and try to macro out of this. Just because Soul's economy is in the gutter, trying to go into all these Stormhosts is a way to make up for that lack of economy. True. Likewise, no blink. Also true. There's no blink stalkers, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Classic to get on top of the Stormhost. So again, these Stormhosts, they have potential. First Locust Wave comes in. Roach is on the right hand side. And can he get on top of the Templar? He gets 1. Yeah, 1 Templar gets sniped. He gets 1 Immortal. Decent side so with the Stormhost. Locust Wave did get some value there. Picking up 2 key units. And you can see as soon as the Stormhosts are revealed, Blink. Right? Blink is the answer. To chase down to get on top of the Stormhost. Ooh. Storm kills an Observer. Bit of friendly fire. Now the scariest thing about what's happening here is that Classic is getting a 4th base. This 4th base cannot be allowed to get up and running. If it does, then Classic, he will just surpass Solar's economy. He already is. Oof. Massive Storm with the Locust Wave. Mineral Line is safe. Classic does have the superior economy. Ooh, Vials connect. Catching out a High Templar. Another High Templar gets focused down. Nice target firing there to Solar, but he bleeds out so much of his army. And again, Solar heals maxed out, and you can see once again plummeting in that supply. Being chased down. Dead supply of these Swarm Hosts. Ay. It's time for the Locust Wave. He needs time, but... Oh, can we set up the surround? Okay. Locust Wave is coming in. High Templar exposed. There's a first storm. Diving in the Immortals. Oh my god, the control. Hot pickup. Saves both Immortals. No. And the Locust Wave gets nothing. Yeah, it gets 0 damage on a single unit goes down. Doesn't bode well. Roaches go for a counterattack. They run into reinforcements, into Zealots. While Siege connect. Oh my god, massive connections. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4 Immortals. Massive connections here. Yeah, Classic was a very rough fight. Here extends. Was inattentive. And Classic, he'll lose everything. He'll lose everything. This should not have happened. Ay. Yeah, massive blunder for Classic, losing, what was that, 6, 7 Immortals. Locust Wave gets wasted. It does move out. And moves out, knocks down the expansion. Still trying to buy some time. Again, that was just a rough fight here for Classic. How many Immortals did he lose? 8. 8 Immortals went down. That is insane. 8 Immortals, 6 High Templar, 3 Archons. Some crazy losses there for Classic. And he's hurting. He's hurting back at home. He needs time to recover. Now, the other scary thing, on the one hand, that was a really good fight for Solar. True. On the other hand, Solar, he has not made a drone since like the 4-minute mark. Like, he has not made a drone since the all-in commenced. That's why his work count is at 59. Under 3 base saturation. So Solar, he cannot afford these losses. He cannot afford these trades. Classic can. Remember, Classic has a superior economy. Classic up to 73 probes. Classic can rebuild and Solar cannot. Oh boy. So again, that was like the best fight that Solar could have hoped for. It's still not enough. Classic's already built up. It's coming in on top of the Templar. Does try to. The last Templar, they survive. I think 1 Templar does not go down. Yeah, just morphs in the Archon. Saves the Templar. Biles a do connect. Some decent piles with the Sorkers they blink in. Yeah, Sorkers they blink in. They give chase. They catch out the Roaches, the Ravagers. Okay, wait, we just take the last of the face back. Oh, the flanking Zealots! Let's go! Yes, and so the Ravagers. We got 3 Ravagers left, down to 1. Soon to be down to 0. And Classic can just keep pushing. At this point, now he can start to focus and just keep pushing. Focus on the main army. And this time he should not be stopped. He should not be stopped. Yeah, the final Locust Wave coming in. Diving with the High Templar, gets 1, gets 2, gets both Templar, no more Storms, but the damage has been done. Plenty of Immortals. 6 Immortals, massive amount of Sorkers. GG gets called, and Classic, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Classic takes the lead in the series. Again, Solar, he committed into his 3-base all-in early on. Classic, he was able to shut it down initially, and as we mentioned, the longer the game went on, the worse it became for Solar. There were some really nice moments there. There were some nice moments, nice engagements. The best moment, of course, was when Classic was inattentive, when he was focusing his attention elsewhere, and he lost 8 Immortals. He lost 8 Immortals, 6 High Templar, 3 Archons. Like, he lost a very, very hefty, expensive army. But as we mentioned, he did trade, and Solar, his fight there, that engagement wasn't good enough. It was an amazing fight for Solar, but he bled out a lot, and again, he had no bank. He had no bank, he had no money, he had no resources. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, we're going to be getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Solar can recover and tie things up. We'll see if Classic can claim it here and now. As we're getting into Ruby Rock. bring back EU Light. Ah, no. Whenever Europe fixes their time, then maybe. They get back into or off of daylight savings, whatever that is. But spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. I'm also, my apologies as I was so engrossed in the first game and jumping into the series and into the cast. But a big shout out to Pony Danza, Papiga. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 23 months, almost 2 full years of support. Thank you. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Much love. Aye. But thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. As we're getting into game 2 and again a crazy game 1. I do appreciate that Solar did go into Swarm Host. As we mentioned at the time, that was maybe the best thing he could have done when it comes to trying to keep aggression and keep the pressure up despite being on a lower economy. So again, they did gain value over time. They were very efficient units, of course, but unfortunately just still not good enough. Classic did eventually take his 4th base, and he never lost it. He maintained his 4th base economy. He maintained a greater economy. There we go. From here, we're loading into Rock. Now, once again, we did mention this at the start of the broadcast, but there's a very high chance that Solar goes for another all-in. Solar, he almost exclusively goes for all-ins in ZVP. There are some exceptions to the rule, especially on larger maps. We have seen Solar go into Mutaplay, for example, or we have seen him go into fast Hive Tech and fast Lurker Tech as well. There are some greedier builds that you can go for, specifically on larger maps, but on a map like Ruby Rock, we're leaning towards another all-in, right? We're leaning towards more aggression out of Solar again, but we'll see. We'll confirm. I don't think this is an ideal map for something like Mutaplay. The rush distance is too short. The bases are exposed. Like, feels very risky to try to attempt to go into mutas. So leaning more towards Roach heavy play again. Meanwhile, Stargate opener out of Classic. Opening up Stargate, opening up Oracle. Last game it was triple Oracle into a 3rd base, into +1 in charge, into charge Archon Immortal. We'll see if our players adjust. We'll see. So share my toes in chat, share my. Classic does poke in. Classic pokes in. Disrupts on the economy, gets a drone, okay. 1 drone does go down. He pulls out. As the first adept is joined by the second. So adepts taking through in the mineral line, they can one-shot drones. Oracle production has begun. No Void Ray open or anything like that. As a result, the Overlord will get a scout off and will get out. Or at least should. Oh, okay. Bigger investment into Zerglings here. So Solar goes for a Link Flood. The goal here is to delay the 3rd, kill the probe, maybe even force a cancel. Solar does at least keep the Oracle busy. True. Does force the Oracle back home to defend. But if they get in, oh, they get into the mineral line, getting 1, getting 2 drones. Lings, a race back home to defend. And Solar, he was punished for moving out, losing a 3rd drone. Can we get forward? Oh my god, barely not. But 3 drones go down, and nice trades here, nice pickups at a Classic. And again, this just wasn't worth of a Solar. The purpose of all these things was to make sure that the depths were they were kept at home, or at least were killed. So these things, they were not worth it. Behind this Twilight Council and Forge, a standard follow-up into Blink this time, not charge. Okay, so standard game. I'm playing standard. Oh, no Spore! No Spore, the 3rd base, and we're getting punished even further here. 4 drone kills. No! And we're gonna get a 5th. Potentially even a stick. 25. 5 drones go down. Both oracles will survive. Still looking quite healthy. It's going to be lair first out of Solar. Okay, got my attention. That's a 450-ish or maybe 445 lair timing. So earlier lair. Does cancel the third gas. Guys are going for an earlier Roach Warren. Okay. What was things they almost have been? They kind of do. Send it to the main. Getting a scout off. Surrounds the Stalker as well. Very nice. The Stalker. And goes in once again. A classic, a messy defense here. Doing his best hero impression. Has to calm down. Losing 3 pros at the same time to kill 3 workers across the map. What I will say is that, yeah, there's a cancel. I was going to say that because this is a blink heavy composition, roaches are not necessary and this is a waste. So Solar, he kind of misread the game state. If you remember, he canceled the third gas, started the Roach Horn, then he realized he didn't need them, canceled the Roach Horn, restarts the third gas. So it's a bit of a messy build here by Solar as he's now trying to rush into his Hydra Den, into Infestation bit as well. Interesting. So Solar, he knows now he's safe to get into Ling Hydra and he's rushing into Hive, rushing into Lurkers. Did he get scattered? Oh god. That's dangerous. That is very dangerous here. So Classic, he sees the very fast Infestation pit, and that should prompt Classic. Classic's now like, oh, okay. You want to cut corners. You want a fast Hive. You want fast Lurker tech. There's going to be a window in time. There's going to be a window in time that Solar's going to be investing into all this tech, into all these upgrades, into the Hive, that he's going to be vulnerable. He's going to have less Hydras, and Classic could kill. As Classic is moving out. Going to be applying pressure. Adaptation to the middle line, getting 1, 2, 3, up to 4 drone kills. Solar out of position. Stalkers are going for the 4th base. Can he force a cancel? Settles for the Overlord. Does not get it. But again, just applying pressure. Warping in more Stalkers. Remember, Classic is not all in. Behind this is taking gases. Behind this is going for Storm. Storm +2, charge. There's the Hive, there's the Lurker Den, as we mentioned before. Solar's being greedy. And can Classic punish? Can Classic kill Solar before his Hive finishes, before the Hive upgrades kick in? And remember, Classic knows he can do this because he's got it. Remember, he saw the Infestation bit, so he knows that he should push in. He knows he can. Lings are going down. Hatchery's getting low. Stage trap. Oh, doesn't go off. Catching out the Stalker. Stasis Trap does connect with the Lings though. Zergling's getting caught out. Hydras are exposed. And it looks like Solar will defend. Whew, okay, Solar, he successfully defends his 4th base. It cost him a lot of Zerglings, but he does hold on, he does defend. Remember, behind this, Classic was not all in. Remember, he was working towards charge and Storm. That's a lot of Storm, that's a lot of charge. And remember, that window hasn't closed yet. That window is still open. The window, what I mean, of course, is the window in time pre-Hive Tech Lurkers. We have 5 Lurkers morphing in. Lurker range is now in production, but here comes Classic. And again, the goal is to break Solar before Hive Tech Lurkers. Solar's almost there. He's almost there. That's 7 Lurkers morphing in. Solar needs a little bit more time. He needs more time, Pappy. Classic does push forward. Lurkers moving in. Nice revelation. Do it in the Storm. Ooh. It does land that Storm. First Lurker's going to go down. And it gets 1. There's 6 left. Ooh, the 3rd base goes down. Yeah. Lurkers out of position. Hatchery falls. Lurkers are just too far back. They were too far back. And now we have Sky Toss. So Classic, his goal here is no longer to kill. He's crippled. He's crippled the economy. He's killed the 3rd base. He's going to rotate, apply pressure, and switch into Sky Toss to try to outscale Solar. Now, Solar successfully defends. If Solar can stabilize, he can counterattack and then try to break Classic before Sky Toss. As Lurker upgrades are finishing. No shot. Does he get the base? No shot. Lurkers are too far behind. Yeah, the Lurkers are too far behind. They're so far back. The Hatchery's going to go down. He kills the 4th base as well. Oh no. And the 5th. Classic killing all the bases at the same time. Ooh, the wall's wide open. Yeah, the wall's on the wall. Lings, they force a recall. There's a cancellation. Solar losing his third, his fourth, and his fifth base. Solar, he has no mining. He has no bases. He has no expansions. He's being torn apart. Ay, ay, ay. We spoke about it that there was a window in time at pre-high-tech lurkers, and he's just being abused. Yeah, Solar's being abused here. Lings are still the bases. Solar going for a massive counterattack. He's getting desperate. Desperation out of Solar. And there are no storms. Okay, no defensive storms. Solar, he's somewhat trading well here, but these are expensive losses. Expensive trades for Solar. Leading out Hydras. Classic is racing back home. Oh god. Storm on the ramp. Oh, the Lings though, they get on top of the High Templar. Okay, no more storms. But now they're a Tempest. Yeah, now they're a Tempest. It's too late. The Tempests have arrived. The Tempest reign supreme. It cannot be dealt with. The army's getting surrounded. Yeah, with good enough control, the Tempest can just kite. They can just kite all the way back. Down to 4 Hydras. That's the anti-air. 4 Hydras. Oh! All the Hydras go down. The Lurkers are on their own. The Lurkers don't shoot up. They do not shoot up. The Tempest will kill everything. GG gets called, and Classic will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations to Classic. He will claim the 2-0. Meanwhile, a shout out to Solar. He did hold his own, and it was just a very, very unfortunate early game. What I mean by that, if you remember, Solar initially misread the builds. We spoke about him canceling his gas, getting the Roach Warren, then forced to cancel the Roach Warren, retake his gases, get back in a Hive Tech. So a bit of a messy start, but more importantly, he got scouted when he threw down the infestation pits. We did try to fixate and focus on that point, that when the Oracle came in and when it scouted the natural, the Oracle saw the Hydrogen and saw the infestation pit. And as we mentioned, that prompted Classic to be hyper aggressive, because I told him, hey, I can push, I can abuse you, I can punish you for cutting corners like this. And even though he didn't immediately kill, he was able to soften up the fourth base. He was able to out-trade against the Lings, against the Hydras, set up towards Storm, and then eventually we got to that moment where he killed 3 bases. He killed the 4th, the 3rd, and the 5th. It was brutal. Just because he was able to rotate back and forth, knock down the bases in time before the Lurkers could get there. Again, Solo was just one step behind there, partly because he was cutting corners and being greedy, but also because he got scattered, and Classic knew that he could punish that. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, Classic does advance on to the semi-finals, where he's going to be facing off against a Protoss opponent. Okay, it is going to be a PvP between Classic and MaxPax. MaxPax, who has been looking very shaky in PvP as of late. I say as of late, over the past year. For a very, very long time, MaxPax had the best PvP in the world. Straight up. Like, I want to say for 2023, 2024, even 2022, like MaxPax had the best PvP out there, better than herO, better than Classic. But ever since the patch, ever since the change to the NG overcharge, the removal of the shield battery overcharge, the introduction of the NG overcharge, that was at the beginning of 2025. Ever since then, MaxPax's PvP has been struggling that much more. I'm not saying that like he's always losing, but he's not as dominant as he once was, and now it's a lot more back and forth, if not even slightly favored for players like herO, players like Classic. But we'll see. I know that MaxPax has been working on his PvP. He has been working on it, has been improving it. There's a lot to get into. Let's go. Let us go. As we are loading into White Rabbit. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. Representing Protoss Pro, it is Classic. Here we go. Now, when it comes to PvP, as we are going for the MaxPax opener. If you remember, for a good amount of months last year, MaxPax stopped going for his opener. What is the opener? going for a Gate Cybercore into Nexus or Gate Cybercore Stargate into Expansion. Going for a greedy build like this, a low ground setup. Now, this is the MaxPax opener, and it was renowned for many, many years, and MaxPax would get away with it every single time and dominate in PvP. The reason why this changed and the reason why this got worse starting last year is because of the removal of the shield battery overcharge. What does that mean? That means that you have to commit into more shield batteries than you had to previously when it comes to defending against an all-in. Not just that, but also if you misread an all-in and you committed too hard into batteries and your opponents kind of blindsides you or mind games you, then you get punished even further as well. So it's not saying that that his opener is not possible to defend against all-ins. No, it is, but at the same time, it's harder to kind of get a read on what you need, on how committed your opponent is, or whether you have to commit into a defense or not. Ooh, he's crazy. Gate expansion. Gateway into Nexus before Cybercore. Hyper greed out of MaxPax. This needs to be punished. And Classic is going for a one base all in. So this should be a build order win for Classic. I'll be honest. So Classic is going for the one base all in. MaxPax, he knows that a pylon is missing. Remember, MaxPax, he did go for the probe scout. He's still in the main base. He knows that something is wrong. He knows that something is missing. But MaxPax still heavily delays the Cybercore, which means his Stargate or his Robo is also delayed. Which means, I mean, again, like this should snowball out of control. Show us what you got. Third gateway. We're going for the third gateway. So again, one base all in by Classic, not going for the proxy robo. Fun fact, Classic is doing this blindly. He does not know what's going on, but he's about to scout and about to confirm that there is an insanely fast Nexus. So he pokes in, gets sides from the gateway, the Cybercore, the Nexus is almost complete, and Classic should be feeling pretty good about this. And does confirm the Stargate as well. I do think a proxy robo would have been more powerful here, but regardless, he's going for the gateway. MaxPax moving out. Oh, does count, does confirm. There we go. Does confirm the proxy, does confirm the gateway. He's now aware. Adept does commit across the map. And Classic is poking in. We'll see if Classic can break that wall, break that natural. The Stargate is safe in the main. So from here, we're rallying across the map. Here comes the initial Void Ray. Oh, going for the Forge. This would be for cannons. So defensive cannons, defensive Void Rays. We'll see if MaxPax can pull this off. At least MaxPax is 100% aware that an all is coming. Like there's no guessing about that. So now Classic does take some hull damage. So gotta be careful. Does take some hull damage. We're now getting up to 3 batteries here at the natural. 3 batteries and a cannon. Oh, as we're just warping straight into the main. Wait, what? The pylon finished? Adepts, they get in. Probes are going to go down. This should not have happened. Classic, he just threw down the pylon like nothing. And probes are falling. Ay, ay, ay. Nothing major yet, just getting 2 probes. But now we can focus on the mineral line. Yeah, getting 3, 4, 5 probes go down. Like, what the hell? 6 probe kills. This could have been a lot worse. This could have been a lot worse. I think Classic himself was a little bit surprised as what was happening. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. MaxPax, even though he lost all those workers, still has a better economy. So Classic's going for the Cybercore. We're now getting up to 3 Void Rays. Getting up to 3 voids. Adepts are warping in. They can also shade in. Ooh, as Classic overextends. Yeah, big overextension. You cannot afford to lose units like this. Not early on. Meanwhile, Classic still has a pylon in the main, by the way. He just warped straight into the base. What is going on? What is happening? 6 more probe kills. There we go. Pylon is finally being dealt with. He's crazy, man. He's crazy. Oh, he commits. It does come in, but again, we have, what, 4 batteries here at the natural. The Void Rays cannot be dealt with. And I feel like MaxPax, I feel like he's held. At this point, he's held. He's hitting critical massive Void Rays. I mentioned before that Classic was blindly going for the all-in, but I feel like a proxy robo would have hit so much harder and hit so much faster as well. Now he's going to blink. This is late. Late Twilight Council. Late blink. The downside of spending warpins on all these adepts, like, sure, he's killing workers, but this also means that the stalker count is never really building up. Like, he's never amassing up enough stalkers to, like, two-shot Void Rays because of all these adepts. So there's a bit of a give and take here. If he killed more probes, it would have been worth it, but he just has not dealt enough damage. How many adepts? 7. 7 adepts. Again, they could have been just more stalkers. Link is being chronoed. But now we're up to 5 Void Rays. 5 voids. Meanwhile, back at home, there's nothing that defends. Classic is forced to commit. So weapon defensively back at home, losing 4 or 5 probes. Again, this is looking worse and worse for Classic. The best that Classic can hope for is that MaxPax overextends, but he should never leave this position. Again, there's just a wall of cannons and shield batteries. MaxPax should never move out, just saturate his natural, take his gases, and take the game. And again, Classic is known for his proxy robo as well. Like, he's known for it. Didn't go for it, man. Didn't go for it. Yeah, we have a full wall here, so the shade does not get in. Blink is revealed. Now we have Immortals as well. 6 Void Rays, 1 Immortal. We can blink into the main. Okay, we can bypass all the side defense. True. Boys are being pulled. Here's the dive. He gets 1. Gets 1 Void Ray for 3 Stalkers, losing 4, 5, 6 Stalkers. Oh my god, so many Stalkers go down. And it's not going to be worth it. GG gets called. MaxPax, who will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Crazy that Classic got into both the main base and the natural with the depths. He got his pylon up and running there as well. That shouldn't have happened, and I feel like that was a bit of a bait, or I should say that it wasn't worth it. As I was mentioning, sure, he killed some probes. He never dealt critical damage though. He never took a worker lead, and because he was warping in all those adepts, again, his stalker count was that much weaker as a result. He had less stalkers to work with, less to focus on the natural, and he never really broke that natural base. Never able to. GG. GG, well played. So messy execution there by Classic, and MaxPax, he holds on off of a very greedy build, and this is huge. It's a best of 3. It's only a best of 3 here, so no more missteps, no more mistakes. All we need is 1 more win for MaxPax. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top left hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing System Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is Classic. Oh, this I don't think I'm fond of, but okay. Do you see what I see? The same setup here for both players. A higher chance we go Gate, Cyber, Expand, or Gate, Expand. Both players are being greedy. Both players are cutting corners. There's a very high chance this turns into Phoenix Wars. Now, Phoenix Wars are typically reserved for maps that have a ramp coming into the natural, but here there's no ramp. We're just blindly kind of going for the same build, which again is a bold move. We have seen MaxPax caught off guard in Phoenix Wars. We have seen him lose them before as well, depending on the timing of the second Stargate. Also, Classic is very fond of opening Stargate, going Phoenixes, trying to bait out his opponent, and then switching into Blink Stalkers. But he's done this so often that, like, I don't know if it's really surprising anymore. Oh, 2-gate. Huh. Okay, 2-gate opener out of Classic. He's moving out across the map. MaxPax going for the same build, Gate expanded to Cybercore, so same build out of MaxPax going for Hyper Greed. Classic can one base all in. Okay, he's going for it. Now, I would want to see a Robo here. I mean, technically, if he goes for a Gateway, he can refine his build that he can hit even harder if he doesn't go for the pylons and the bases. But we'll see. Regardless, one base all in by Classic. Once again, Hyper Greed out of MaxPax. We'll see how Classic adjusts. Waiting for the Cybercore. He's going for the gate. He's going for the gates. Limited gases. So technically, it's the same build versus the same build, but I would imagine that the execution is going to be different here for Classic this time. As Classic, he confirms. Does confirm. Hooks in, confirms the Stargate. Again, deja vu. And this time I'll pay better attention to this probe, just because last time he got 2 pylons in the main, which even caught MaxPax off guard. There we go, the probe is being hunted down. This time, no pylon. No nonsense. Which again, I feel like is going to benefit Classic. First, is focus to move out. Applying pressure. Forcing energy to be spent. We got to look in when it comes to the unit control as well. Making sure that no hull damage is dealt. Here comes the Void Ray. Here comes the Forge. Again, it's just the same build out of Max. Same build, same reaction. I will say that this is a new variation. I did mention earlier how MaxPax was struggling a lot when it came to this greedy build ever since the latest patch, but the Forge is a new addition. The Forge is a new addition. As in the past, in 2024, he would not get a Forge alongside this. He wouldn't need to get a Forge. So that is an adaptation, a more recent adaptation here by MaxPax. Speaking of, here comes the first cannon. I'm curious if this is the first time that the Classic is facing off against this. Like, when I say first time, I mean this series. It's the first time that I'm seeing it here at a MaxPax. As he can 3-shot. Once again, there he will lose 1 Stalker. Void does get a little bit low. Oh! That's a kill, not a cancel. Takes down the death. Nice control, pulls back the weakened Stalker. But now there is a second Void Ray. Second Void Ray has arrived, does punish the Stalkers. Another Stalker goes down. Down how many? Down to 10. Down to 9. Ooh, down to 8. They're losing 2 Stalkers. He's going to commit in. Does he get the Void Ray? Is it worth it? Yeah, he does. Yeah, it looks like he will. He's 1 volley away from taking down both Void Rays. 1 more volley. Uno más, papi, uno más. He gets 1, and he should get the other. Oh my god, the battery does so much healing though. The Void Ray tanks so many hits. Jesus. Void Ray tanks so much, and the Void Ray has arrived. Classic is so close to breaking MaxPax. The batteries are running out of energy. Energy overcharge already spent. Has spent energy overcharge. He needs to dive in. Oh, bit of miscontrol by MaxPax. Overextends. Second Void Race on the way. Cannons are finishing. Classic is gaining some ground here. Oh. Very clutch control. Longer he waits, so more batteries are finishing. Yeah, this is better for MaxPax. Now to 4 batteries. Commits into the cannon. He'll lose 1. He'll lose 2 Stalkers. Not worth it. Oh god, losing 3. I think that's a hold. Yeah, I think that's the defense. That's 3 Stalkers going down. He waited too long. Classic, he let all this finish. I say little finish. I do mean that he needs to apply more pressure earlier. If he can bait the Void Rays out into the open, then maybe. How many Stalkers? 14. Okay, 14 Stalkers. Just gotta be careful. That's gonna be full Void Rays though. I mean, hey, Stone Steady gets 2 shield batteries. Oh. Gets a pylon. Classic is slowly getting ground. Oh, and we commit in. Gets 1. So 1 Void Ray down to 11 Stalkers. It's still very tense. But the Robo's on the way. The Robo and the arrival of the first Immortal, I feel like that's going to be too much. So Classic's on a timer. He's on a timer, Pappy. Oof. Yeah, Punish once again, losing 2 more Stalkers. Losing 3. 3 more Stalkers go down to 10 Stalkers. I feel like MaxPax is defending. Like this seems to be too much here. I will say that Classic he did do a better job when it comes to engaging and trying to break that natural. We spoke about it, but there was that 1 Void Ray that survived, I want to say 4 to 5 volleys, which should not have happened. But again, like, it was just a really awkward engage at a Classic. He was overconfident, he wasn't kiting well, because it looked like he thought that he had already broken and already killed MaxPax. But that Void Ray just tanked a lot, it dealt extra damage. And MaxPax was able to rebuild his 4 shield batteries. So rebuild his batteries, able to build back up his Void Rays. Again, Classic, he got close. He got very, very close. There was a moment in this game where there was just 1 Void Ray. There was like 1 Void Ray and two batteries. It's very close. Classic is now expanding. This tells us that he admits that he cannot kill MaxPax. I mean, he can't. And MaxPax, he should snowball out of control. He should be able to take this natural. And again, I do really appreciate this new variation by MaxPax. I did mention it just previously, but this is a new variation going for the Forge, going for the cannons, setting up a greater wall here at the natural. This is a new variation. I don't think I've seen this before outside of this week. I don't think I've seen it before in MaxPax's PvPs. And it does feel like Classic is struggling, or is struggling to kind of figure it out a little bit more. This was better than last game. Like game 1, as I mentioned before, I feel like the Adept Weapons were hurting Classic more than helping him. For sure. They were hurting. So this was much closer. So that's going to be 4 probe kills. Sniping out 4 probes. Main army's moving in. And again, this main army should not be dealt with. 3 Immortals, 6 Void Rays. A hefty army, Pappy. Hefty. And as we get into this, a big shout out to Foxer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sorry, I was a little bit engrossed in the game. I apologize. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Foxer, for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you. Welcome to the WardiTV Monday number 72. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Thank you so much. Get some rest, Pappy. Get some rest. Get some sleep. Thank you for the raid. Hold on. Slash out. That's good. As Classic going for 1 final last ditch effort. Gets 1 Immortal. Oh god. But the Stalkers, they get bullied. GG gets called. And MaxPax will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very impressive showing here by MaxPax, taking the 2-0. And again, a variation of gate expand that I haven't seen before. Maybe I haven't seen enough of MaxPax's PvP as of late. True, for example, I don't cast the Monday Night Weeklies. I don't cast Monday Night Weekly, so it's possible that he already showcased this build in Monday Night Weeklies. I know he's been playing a lot of PvPs there against Trigger, against herO, so it is possible that over the past couple of weeks he's already showcased this. So if you happen to watch Monday Night Weekly, maybe you've seen it before, you can let us know. But at least for myself, this is the first time that I'm seeing MaxPax do this kind of new adaptation of greedy builds, going for the gate into Nexus, into Cybercore, Stargate, Forge. And again, that Forge, those extra cannons do help quite a lot when it comes to holding onto that natural, when it comes to defending against all-ins. GG. GG, well played. Whew, oh boy. But with that, congratulations, MaxPax does claim the series, and we're going to be getting ready for our next matchup here. MaxPax is in the grand finals, waiting for the winner of either herO or Cure. Let's go. Let us go. As we have our next series, our fresh best of 3. Game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Here we go. Once again, we have another PvT. Coming into this, herO, of course, he has been quite hot as of late when it comes to winning all the big premier events, but we have players like Cure, like MaxPax as well, that can threaten herO for sure. Cure at one point had the best TVP in the world, but oh, his Arax is delayed. Yeah, being very annoying here. herO is with that probe, disrupting the production, and being a nuisance. Even forcing out a second SCV. Denying mining time. Behind this does confirm double gas open out of Cure, going for a faster factory. A much more tech heavy start out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Aggression is typically favored here. Cure, he is one to mix up his builds. We have seen some more economic play. We've seen some all-ins. We'll see how Cure does get into the mid game. I'm expecting aggression though. Expecting aggression. God damn it. There we go. The probe is going to be forced out. Factory has been thrown down. And again, herO got a full scout. Is fully aware of what's going on. Technically, this could turn into a one base all in, technically, but Cure isn't really one to really delve into that. If we were casting Gumiho or Ryung, then sure, I would give a little bit more emphasis to that. But from here, Cure should expand. Cure is hunting for that probe. herO did race back home. Race all the way back home. Cure just ensuring there's no hiding at the third base location. Behind this, herO getting a safety battery. Battery in the main base. Battery here at the natural. Because this is where the faster factory, there's a higher chance that Hellion Reaper is coming his way. So herO just getting ready for that. Is getting ready. Meanwhile, we have a tech of choice, Twilight Council out of herO. Question becomes, how many gateways do we open up? 2 gate blink, 3 gate blink, or 4 gate blink stalker? On a smaller map like Ruby Rock, I would say it's a little bit risky to open up with a faster third base with a 2 gate setup, so we're leaning more towards 3 gateways and potentially a robo as well. Is what we're leaning towards. Cure, he does cut units here at 2 Hellions and 3 Reapers. With this, he can try to rush into a mineral line and try to wreak havoc. Splitting up his army. Triple Reaper into the main. Does slip in. Shield batteries in position. At the same time, Hellions, they try to head into the natural once again. Though here, he does deflect. Flex both armies. So far, so good. Meanwhile, yep, there it is. Robo has been thrown down. 2 more gateways. It's going to be 3-gate blink with a safety rope. Oh, hold on. My apologies. I just assumed 3-gate blink is a Robo. That is not blink. That is charge. Okay. herO being much more assertive here. Now, these charge-based openers, they can go one of 2 ways here. One, if Cure did commit on 2 bases to an early move out, to an early tank push, then Charge would completely shut him down. At the same time, herO also has his own aggressive potential as well if Cure cuts some corners. If he does cut some corners, if he's less defensive back at home, herO can punish. There's a lot of potential with Charge. The downside, of course, is without Blink Stalkers, it is more difficult to keep up with drop play. More difficult to shut down those drops, as your army is less mobile. Likewise, harassment as well, like dropping, sorry, I should say blinking into the main base. Containing your opponents, that is not available to you here without Blink. Or Phoenixes. Bearing in mind that Cure is unaware. Meanwhile, we have a fast Bay on the way. Okay, so we have the Bay here after the 3rd base. Getting ready for Colossus. Setting up. Back at home, Cure likewise just building up on 2 bases, getting to stim, combat shields, building up his bio army. We're coming down. Cure, he now confirms all the zealots, now he knows. Nice force field, army gets locked in. Ooh, despite that, 5 probes going down. Ay, ay, ay. Crazy damage here at the 3rd. So nice pickups out of Cure, nice trades. Now he's aware of Charge. Now upon seeing Charge was researched first, there's a higher chance that Cure doesn't push. Now he might decide to just calm things down, get a 3rd CC and build up into a macro game. Oh, Nigel comes in. Was a zealot. Cure is going to be active, okay. Stim is now done, he does have a hefty army. He's moving out, but I believe there is a Colossus. Yeah, the first Colossus has arrived. Now, if herO is inattentive, if herO is late to react, then Cure may attempt to dive in and catch a Colossus. He's being active, he gets spotted by the Observer. Nice to catch the Widow Mine. Gets one. Nice shot. Ooh, does go off. Oh no! Yeah, Colossus exposed. Has to pull away. And so far here, he does hold his own. He's holding on. Nice spread by Cure. Stims in. Cure, he wants a Colossus. And does deal a bit of hold damage, but barely, still not going to be enough. Does catch the shield battery. Battery goes out. The F2. We got all 3 observers here with the main army. Let's go. Let's go. It's got all the detection. But here he does hold on. Does get up to 2 Colossus. Army stims in. Here he has to be careful. Once again, he does have a nice spread. Yeah, D's the spread. But we have another warp in. Running into Marines, running into Marauders, and here it does completely shut this down. Cleans up the army. Doesn't quite give chase. 3rd CC was a little bit delayed here for Cure, but it's on the way. Getting his 3rd, getting to the mid game. But overall, here he does defend. I do favor here's positioning. He defends his 3rd base, now getting a 4th expansion. 3rd Colossus on the way. Getting into Warp Prison speed. Interesting. Getting into speed. No, is that a duck? Ah. I didn't realize. But Foxtree, he's got a duck emote. Beautiful, beautiful. Ah. I know we have to support Fox. I mean, no, we can. Beautiful. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Fellow duck. So, speaking of supporting Foxer, shout out to sort of in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome one and all. Bienvenidos as we are here. We are in the semifinals of the WardiTV Monday number 72. We're in the semis. MaxPax is waiting the grand finals for the winner of this series, and this is still game one. Still game one. Prison does slip by, dropping into the main. herO applying pressure at the third. Getting into the mineral line. Does try to move in. Boys are being pulled. And the first Colossus is going to get picked up. Yeah, the Vikings do punish. Nice pickup. And he's going to keep going. It does give chase. He does get a second Colossus. And here's in trouble. Here's in trouble. He has to get the hell out of here at the same time. 22 SCVs go down. It does cripple the economy. But what about the main army? Oh no, as the third Colossus gets picked up. Does not get away. Ay, ay, ay. All three Colossi go down. There's no splash damage. There's only a disruptor. First disruptor has arrived. We're making 2 disruptors at a time. herO, he needs to connect. He needs to connect. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for herO. Remember, herO, he has 71 workers. He just crippled the economy. herO, he has limited mining. herO just has to survive. He's collapsing in. Still holding onto the Nova. Oh, first Nova goes up. Catching out 2 Marauders. There's 2 more Novas left. Down to 1. Yeah, 1 Nova remaining. The base is going to go down. herO cannot engage. He does preserve those disruptors. Once again, a little bit trigger happy. Scan reveals another base. herO slipping by. These elves have potential, but they shouldn't get too much done here. Oof. Yeah, the army's already in position. Army's already ready. Yeah, this run by was not worth it. That was a lot of zelts thrown away. herO's in trouble. Remember, he scanned earlier. He's aware of the base. He's aware there would be 4th. I'm sure herO wants to move out. But this is still heavily reliant here upon the disruptors. There's now 5 disruptors. They have a lot of potential. Did I say 5? Up to 7. Up to 8. 8 disruptors, man. That's a lot of Novas. There's the first shot, second, third shot as well. Catching up the army. 4th, that's going to be the 5th Nova. There's 2 left. Oh, he spends them. Better connections. Yeah, better connections, but no more Novas. Oh, 1 does barely go up. And now the Novas are resetting. Enough time has passed. Novas are resetting. This reminds me of PVT back in the day before the... this was what? I almost said Site Delta. No, the other map. Gressfan, that's it. During the Gressfan map pool. That was before the disruptor nerf, before the supply was increased, if you recall. We get TVPs with like 12 disruptors. Oh my god, as Nova's connecting. And Nova's reconnects, no splits. They split towards the end. But still some brutal connections. herO does take some Novas to the face, at the same time Prism to the main, and Warping does complete, and more SCVs are going down, and herO just being pulled apart. He's being torn apart. Oh, a brutal move command. Brutal move command. Disruptors are get picked up. Miscontrol out of herO. herO does miscontrol. He had a disruptor, is now down to 2. 2 disruptors left. Does get into the mineral line, and herO has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. And we're getting messy. Getting very messy here. On the one hand, herO, he once again cripples the economy. He kills 18 SCVs, but he did move command 4 to his disruptors, and he lost 6. Lost 6 disruptors. herO's raking back home. Now he's going back into Colossus. The scan does reveal that. How many Vikings left over? 5. Oh, not bad. There we go. Vikings, they lift. least some Vikings were left over. Observer was sniped. Kira getting ready for his own drop, his own harass. His eyes are on the 4th. Oh no, all the links. Look, I appreciate the Zerglings in the chat because they're not in the game. They're not in the tournament. I know. Solo, he got knocked out earlier in the quarterfinals. Oh. As down goes the 4th base. Not bad. 4th base goes down. Late reaction by herO. Late reaction. hero's going to be counterattacking. Do we go for the base trade? We do. Let's go. Kira, he hits the 3rd. At the same time, herO going for the 4th, going for the planetary. Of course, Kira, he does have faster access to the natural. True. Ooh. Nova's connecting. Nova does connect. Kira pushing into the natural, into the production. And I have to favor Kira in the base trade just because he will depower the robos. The robos are depowered. Kira, he evacuates the 3rd already. Oh, Kira doesn't go into the main. Heads for the economy instead. Okay. Goes for the 3rd. Kira pushing into the natural. Once again, Kira just evacuates. Pulling into the main. And what is there in the main base to defend? There's not actually that much. We have what? 8 Marauders? 8 Marauders, a couple of Marines. Kira pushing further in. Yeah, the SimCity Heat going to be working against Kira. Never goes up. Oh my god. Massive connections. Yeah, shots going to be going up. Marauders are going down. And here he takes over the main. Takes over the main base. He will lose a Colossus. He'll lose both. Yeah, both Colossus go down. But are there enough Marauders on the ground? Yeah, there shouldn't be. Yeah, there isn't. There's not enough on the ground here. Here he wins the main fight. He may still lose the Colossus though. Oh, the Colossus. One more hit. Barely survives. And herO takes over the main. He takes over the main base at the same time. Kira busting into the main of herO. Does break in. Here he still has mining. Still has mining. Still has an economy. He's hunting down the orbitals. Kira going for the great migration. Hiding in the corner of the map. Ooh. Does foot over. Once again, because of the continued mining, here he can afford another Nexus. So we'll see where he throws one down. These buildings do float away. And Kira, he has no orbital. He has no orbital, no mules, no mining. What you see is what you get. Kira does have a pretty terrifying main army, though. Oh. He has to be careful. Ideally, he does not want to drag the army towards the base. He is. But he has force fields. Sentries, force fields, the battery as well. Here looking very secure. Can't look down the army. Oh, he can. Yeah, very nice force fields. Locks down the bio, and with that Kira, he shuts down the main army. He catches Kira. He's going to get the hell out of here. He cannot. Losing the final Viking. Leading out more Marines, and things looking bleaker here for Kira. Sure, he has all these buildings, but he has no mining. He has no bank. He cannot produce. Cannot produce. GG gets called, and herO will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. herO, he does take a lead in the series. Again, a very chaotic game number 1 here with, I mean, strong moments for both players, of course. We saw that herO initially was getting into a better position. They lost all the disruptors. I was favoring Kira initially when it came to the base trade. Remember, he was the first player to initiate. He was the first player to break the natural, but he chose to go for the mining bases. He chose to go for the mining bases. He did delay pushing into the main base, so there was more tech, there was more production. It meant that herO could actually warp in across the map, actually make use of that production in some way. And in the end, Kira, he just didn't have the main army he quite needed here to fight head on. Not after all those cannons and shield batteries did finish. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO takes the lead, but a very chaotic game 1, as now we load into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. But again, we saw some crazy Novas, some crazy connections just before that base trade as well. Crazy, baby, crazy. Here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Here we go. Again, I do think that the base trade was the best chance and the best option for herO, just because initially when the base trades were commencing, I would say that Cure had the stronger main army. Stronger main army, had more dive potential as well. And here able to embrace that base trade, catch out half the army back at home. But now we're settling into game 2. Settling in. Welcome to Winter Madness. Welcome. Winter Madness is a much larger map in the map pool, much larger map. So because of the size of Ruby Rock, that is a little bit more conducive to something like an all-in, or sorry, like a base trade. But here on a larger map, I mean, now there's a higher chance we get into a longer macro game, into 3-4 bases, into a more secure setup. We'll see. We'll see how our players will adjust. Bearing in mind that last game, herO did open up early charge. This time, we're leaning more towards Blink. Blink would make a lot more sense, considering the size. Estes Salens, man. 45 stream streak. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Ay, ay, ay. I would have expected people to have dropped off specifically during the Rongi Cup stream, but nah. Crazy streak. The stream where we failed to cast the finals of Rongi Cup. Meanwhile, oh, okay, Cure, he does open up with a faster economy. Ranks expand into Marauder. This is designed to try to punish herO. I believe herO didn't even scout. Yeah, 0 probe scout. So herO, he sees nothing. He doesn't know whether or not he can even apply any pressure. So herO is playing blind. Cure hoping to try to catch any stray Stalker or Adept, but there are none moving out. And behind this, going for a 3-racks follow-up. Cure has been very fond of this. He's notorious for these 3-raxes. This is very old school. We used to see this quite often a couple of years ago. This was all the craze back in 2023, and likewise Cure would do this every single game as well. Stim timing, going for fast stim. Now if you remember, this was back in the day when robo openers and robo responses were quite common to this, going into faster Colossus. But remember, here is playing blind. I know he sees. Here he spots some Marauders moving out, and herO should confirm the additional Raxes. Yep. Scouts all 3. Scouts all 3 Raxes. Behind this, going into DTs, going for a Dark Shrine. Is a nice response against early stim. Ooh. Catching up the Marauder. Catching up both Marauders even as well. Trading with the Sentry. And herO defends. Does defend. Now what's scary about this here is that of course Cure is going to be wanting to mule as much as he can just to be able to support and facilitate for that 3-rack stim timing. That is why DTs are so brutal when it comes to dealing with that, when it comes to Cure's specific build, as he will have limited scans available to him. Limited scans, and we'll see what herO can get done. Probe is moving out for the proxy. Proxy pylons on the way to warp it across the map. As we have a 4th Rax. Ooh, Cure is turning this into a 2-base all-in. Wait, did herO see this? herO, he did not see the 4th Rax, so he's not fully aware of how committed this is. A 3-Rax does lead into a 3rd base, but this is a 4-Rax instead. Which means Cure might pull the boys. He might pull the boys with this as well. Hallucination gets eyes on the main army. No major tell yet. Does slip into the bases, and he does pull the boys. Oh my god, he doesn't see the 4th Rax, but he sees the boys being pulled. The all-in is upon us. Cure sends everything across the map, and we're gonna need some defensive DTs. There we go. We have 4 cannons on the way. 1 Dark Templar does warp in. We have 2 across the map, 1 back at home. And we have to engage as quickly as possible. How many scans? 0. Yeah, currently 0 scans. Free damage. Oof. Yeah, free damage is being dealt. Things are looking dire here for Cure. God, there's 6 cannons. Yeah, the cannons are finishing. Nice force field. GG gets called. GG gets called. Cure gets completely shut down, and herO will take the series 2-0. GG. Aye. That was brutal. herO again, almost hard countering. Remember, he didn't even scout the 4th base, but he was already just going for the DT response. And very fortunate that Hallucination scouted the boys being pulled, scouted the all-in, threw down all 6 cannons, and completely shut Cure down. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, herO. He does claim the series. Does advance on to the grand finals, and we have our 2 finalists ready for us. It is going to be a best of 5. It's going to be a best of 5 here between herO and MaxPax. Oh boy. Alright, getting ready. Until then, we're going to be cutting to a short break. We're going to be cutting to a short break here. So take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines as we get ready for that final series. It is going to be a best of 5 between herO and MaxPax. MaxPax, he just showed off a new style, a new variation of Gate Expand against Classic, and Classic had a very hard time reacting and responding to it. We'll see if herO was able to catch some of those games and get an idea of how to approach MaxPax. We'll see. For now, we're going on a break. We'll be back soon with the grand finals. See you soon. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we've returned. We've returned here with the grand finals. Let's grand finale this year of the WardiTV Monday number 72. Oh boy, we've had our two players facing off and looking quite powerful in their own right coming into the finals. MaxPax took down a classic 2-0 with a very greedy style, a greedier style that I have not really experienced much before. Meanwhile, herO took down Cure in a much more aggressive PvT. And we'll see how our players do compare to each other as we load into our fresh series, into our best of 5. Game 1 is going to be on White Rabbits. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching up with the chat. Exclamation song sounds like Heroes of Might and Magic. It is good. If you're curious about the OST that was playing, it's the Brood War OST. Brood War OST. It's what we do play during the break. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of White Rabbits. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Protoss. The Red Protoss, the Danish Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. God damn it, man. Esther Rowdy in the chat. Esther Rowdy. Sherma in the chat as well. Sherma. Esther Rowdy. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. Bienvenidos. So we're stepping into our PvP, and again we have seen some very greedy play out of MaxPax. He was able to catch Classic off guard and give him a really hard time in the semifinals, but this time, do you see what I see? I see a high ground gateway. So MaxPax does shift gears and is going for something that looks to be a little bit more standard. Okay. So it does mix things up. Likewise, herO going for his own gateway further back in his own mineral line. The purpose of this is technically this is a bit of a greedier response and a greedier build. We'll see what herO goes for from here. As it looks like he's going for a gate cyber expand. Wait, straight gate expand? Oh, he's crazy. Let's go. And this is what is wild about herO, is that specifically against MaxPax, he is so used to seeing people all in him, but herO, he's one that's willing to be greedy. He's willing to be greedy. He's willing to outgreed MaxPax as well. But my eyes are on this probe. The turns have tabled. MaxPax going for the one base all in. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, the roles have been reversed here, as usually we're often seeing Korean Protosses all in MaxPax, but now it's MaxPax all inning the Korean Protoss. We're going full circle, baby, full circle. Just waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is almost done. Pylon is complete. And remember, herO, he went for the greediest build you can go for, gate expand. Like, this is insanely greedy. This is illegal, and MaxPax blindly is going for the all-in. There's the robo, there's the one base all-in. So again, very nice call here by MaxPax. Basically, we're metagaming. Right now, there's a lot of metagame going on, as I'm sure both herO and MaxPax are very, very well versed with each other. So MaxPax, he's assuming that herO is going to be greedy, and he is assumed correctly. And this should be a builder to win, straight up. It just should be a builder to win here for MaxPax. Especially because herO's blind. Like, herO doesn't know what's going on. herO does kill the probe, getting us take the shield battery. Adepts are rallying across the map, Stalkers as well. And we'll see if herO can pull off a miracle defense. We shall see. As herO throws down 2 more gates, getting into a 3-gate setup. Let's take the shield battery. Adepts have arrived. herO does have a full wall. That's fully wall off. The prisoners all sit by. All sit by. 2 adepts, they threaten to shade into the main base. And 2 adepts taking 1-shot probes. Getting 1 probe so far. Yeah, we did see a couple of shots were mistimed. So a bit of miscontrol there from MaxPax. At the same time, Stalkers, they poke down that front door. Going for the battery. Warbins are finishing. And here it comes out for a Immortal. MaxPax has got his Immortal, got his War Prism, he can juggle his units, and we'll see if he can break that natural again. He has to be so careful here about those force fields. The sentry's coming in. Up! Does he get him? He does. Yeah, massive force field, locks down the army. And here he will lose these stalkers. The stalkers, the sentries. There's no getting out of this. The army's locked down. And here trying to build up into Phoenixes. Stargate's done. Phoenix is on the way. But again, there's some brutal losses here for herO. So I'll try to break out. Oh god. But again, there's only so much these batteries can do. Only so much. As hero's getting a 5th battery. But the batteries are being focused down. I mean the gateway as well. Now we're up to 2 immortals. Jesus. And again, MaxPax, he should be able to break through. Right now, there's only 2 batteries with energy. Nice lift on the one immortal. Oh my god, the juggling saves the immortal. Does pull away. MaxPax, he juggles back. But hey, those batteries are putting in a lot of work. The boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. herO getting desperate. Can he get on top of the immortals? Not quite. Yeah, not quite. Shots get wasted. MaxPax moves in. Takes down the mineral line and now catches out the stalkers as well. Down to 3. 3 stalkers left. Down to 2. Oof. And GG gets called. GG gets called. MaxPax takes game number 1. GG. Ooh, GG well played. Again, seeing a sight that you don't often see, but MaxPax did go for the 1 base all in. herO went for a gate expand, hyper greedy build. Again, they blindly went into these builds against each other. MaxPax read herO very well, and this is a byproduct of just having so many games against herO. They play so often in these online tournaments, whether it's WardiTV Monday, whether it's Monday Night Weeklies, and MaxPax was able to just gamble a little bit there, gamble and assume correctly that herO would cut corners. GG. Whew, GG well played. With that, MaxPax takes the lead in the series, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2, and we'll see how our players do adapt and how they open up this time. Who's going to be greedy? Who's going to be all in? As I expect this to be a very short series. As spawning in the top right hand corner of, even if it goes all 5 games, I expect the games themselves to be quite short, as in the top right hand corner we have the Danish Protoss player, we have the red Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself. The South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Here we go. Here we go, as we are going to be opening up. So we're going to be settling in. We do have MaxPax. This time it's going to be our Danish Protoss to go for the low ground gateway, the low ground setup. Going for a much greedier build. We have herO setting up on the high ground instead. So the turns have tabled, and we might see the inverse of what we had last game, with herO going for the all-in and with MaxPax being hyper greedy. We'll see if he goes for the gate expand or the gate into Cybercore. Eyes are on MaxPax. Probe does move down. Yep, it's going to be the gate expand. So this is literally the same build that herO just went for last game. Same build. Hyper greed out of MaxPax. This should be a different variation though. Last game it was gate expand into gateway into Cybercore into a 3rd gateway, if you recall, from herO into a delayed Stargate. Here it should be MaxPax going gate expand into Cybercore into faster Stargate into a forge, if herO goes for an all-in. Now, the problem that we're seeing here, and this is the case that happened last game as well, herO has 0 scouting information. 0 doesn't know how greedy MaxPax is being. Here he goes gate cyber expand. Okay, so we have an economic opener out of herO, but MaxPax is ahead. So MaxPax's build was greedier. So MaxPax has a slight economic lead, but that also means that herO will not all in. No all in. As we mentioned before, MaxPax does have the faster Stargate, as he goes Stargate before the 2nd gateway. And when does herO get his own Stargate? Do we go into Phoenix Wars? We have the gas. Oh, no Stargate, going Twilight Council. Okay. herO hiding his probe. Are we going DTs? I'm a little bit torn here. The problem is that MaxPax is going to be opening up Oracle. Like, there's going to be an Oracle open out of MaxPax, so hiding a Dark Shrine I don't think is going to be quite effective. And MaxPax, he finds the pylon. No! Yeah, it does find the pylon. herO is going to be shut down. There's the cancellation. And, ooh, Forge? Wait, hold on. What's going on, Babby? So we're going to be switching gears. We're going to be switching gears here. So the proxy has failed. The attempted, I would imagine, DTs have failed. And we're going to be switching into Blink, switching into Forge, into +1, into a stronger early +1 timing. So MaxPax does threaten the dive. So what up, second one-shot probes. It's just we're getting very messy. We're getting very... There's a lot going on. So fire loosen 2 probes. Oracle sips into the main base. The shield battery is not yet ready. hero's army's in position to flex the Oracle. Revelation here confirms fast +1, so MaxPax, he's now aware that there's going to be a window in time where he's behind in the upgrade. He knows. Doesn't quite catch a Stalker. Does get another probe. Jesus, getting another 2, 3 probes. Ay, ay, ay. Getting up to how many? 6 in total. And 6 probe kills. hero's hurting. And herO, he might just have to all in here. Obviously, we have fast +1. We're looking for another gateway, another second, third, fourth gateway. We'll keep an eye on herO. The other option is he could just try to turtle up, I suppose, but MaxPax will have a faster third base. And third is on the way. herO is now getting a second gateway. And right now the onus is on MaxPax to make sure if there is an all-in that he sees it. Oh no! Ooh, as he will lose the Oracle. Ay, ay, ay. Oracle goes down. MaxPax knows that he is potentially in danger here. Getting a safety battery. And herO expands. Yeah, herO does expand. There's no extra gateways. We're getting into the mid-game. MaxPax is in a better position. herO picks in. Oh, blinks into the main. Blink is not yet done for MaxPax. True. Gets 1, 2, 3 probe kills. Barely 3 towards the end. Picks up a Stalker. Blinks down to low ground. Nice moves here out of herO. Very nice moves. Very necessary as well. herO is still behind. He's still down 8 probes. But this helps. This does help. Now, he's not really able to do anything with +1, but +2 is now on the horizon. So again, there's now a +2 timing available for herO. +2. So if I try to bait the army, and does bait. Oh, yeah, he does bait the army, and massive stasis goes off, and MaxPax is going for the third. Going for the third base, the cannon is exposed, knocks down the Stalkers, knocks down the Sentry, takes over the third base, and that may just be game. Stasis is still, and they're still like, it's only halfway done. And MaxPax being pulled here towards the natural. Leading up 13 probes. Ay, ay, ay. And MaxPax can always recall. Let's get the hell out of here. It does blink away. 16 probes going down. And here he was already playing from behind, now even more so. At this point, macroing out of this is no longer an option. Still waiting for +2. Still waiting. have a massive gateway explosion. 4th expansion out of MaxPax. Again, just getting further ahead. Securing himself. Crazy, man, crazy. Yes, here it does at least catch the Oracle. MaxPax though, over time is just overwhelming, just massing up a greater army here. We're bringing mass charge lots. We have the Temple Archives on the way for Archons as well. But I've said attempt to harass. 4th base is denied for herO. And MaxPax, he may just commit in. He just commit in. +2 is still a couple of seconds away, so a bit of an anti-timing here for MaxPax. Has to wait 10 more seconds. 10 more. Prism gets in. Gets in. MaxPax playing it safe, does snipe the Warp Prism. And now MaxPax, he can focus on the main fight. We're even on upgrades. Diving on the Stalkers. And here he's just getting bullied. He's just getting bullied back. Now what can he do about it? Azure is contained on 3 bases. We have a 5th base on the way for MaxPax. Again, getting further ahead. MaxPax, he commits into the 3rd base. They'll say peel off into the natural, and here he barely has a standing army. He does have 2 immortals, true. He's got some side defense, but these are still better traits to MaxPax. He can afford them. He can afford them. Now getting in some of the immortals. MaxPax, he gets 1, and he'll get the other as well. Does catch both immortals, punishing the blink. Still charging in. Kills 23 probes. Ay, ay, ay. Again, here he's just running out of steam, running out of armies. Now the 34 probes. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he takes a 2-0 lead in the series. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, a strong start of the series here for MaxPax. He's 1 game away from claiming the series here, and now the pressure is on herO. And again, I'll be honest, a lot of this has come down to the builds, have come down to the openers. Game 1, we saw that MaxPax hard countered herO by blindly going for a 1 base all-in against a blind gate expand. Game 2, we saw that herO blindly went gate cyber expand, whereas MaxPax went gate expand. So MaxPax, he was just ahead economically throughout the entire game. We saw he eventually, of course, got further ahead with his Oracle harass as well, and herO just stumbled his way out the gate into Game 2. And the pressure's on. Pressure's on here. What do we have in store for us coming into Game 3? Going to be loading into Title Citadel. We'll see if herO actually probe scouts. He has not probe scouted at all this entire series, so this might be the first time we see that. Otherwise, he might blindly just go for a proxy. We'll keep an eye on him. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss leading the series 2-0. It is MaxPax. And 1 game away from claiming the series. Meanwhile, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Are we going to scout? Are we going to react? Already, Pylon is going to be on the top of the high ground, so Pylon here in the main base. Meanwhile, MaxPax going for the low ground Pylon himself, going for the Gate Cyber Expand, or Gate Expand, I should say, as he's been quite fond of it, doing it now twice in this series, and did it twice against Classic as well. So hybrid greed out of MaxPax. The question becomes, does herO punish? Does he try to macro? Does he play from behind? That's what happened last game. Last game, herO blindly went Gate Cyber Expand, which means he just had a later expansion and a smaller economy. Both these games, a little bit has come down to some of the openers. Okay, the probe moves out. You have my attention. For the first time this series. Series has not been sending out his probes. Oh, and show us the pylon. So here he does veer towards right hand side. Interesting proxy location is what I will say. I mean, the more common locations are here on the left hand side to push straight into the natural. Once again, gate, expand into cybercore. So this is the same opener that MaxPax went for last game. Hybrid greed. Here we're going for the proxy. This location would be ideal for a Stargate into Oracle harass into the main. We'll see if he commits into a Robo or a Gateway. Cybercore is just now finishing. Is it Robo or Stargate? Huh. As here he warps into Adepts. Going for the Robo. Okay, proxy Robo, one base all in at a herO. And I'm really curious to see how this compares. If you remember, how did Classic play against his style, play against his build? Classic, he went proxy gates. He went for 3 gates. He went for 3 gate, 1 base all ins. Game 1, of course, with Classic versus MaxPax was very messy. Game 2 was very close. Like Classic, he almost broke MaxPax. Hero Scouts confirms the Robo, confirms the Stargates, and MaxPax finds the Robo. No! He finds the Robo. I was about to praise herO for this location just because it's a lot more common to have it on the left-hand side. But MaxPax, he scouts here first. MaxPax, he finds the proxy. And we should be seeing a Forge soon. Should be seeing a Forge. Actually, the Forge was seen against the Gateway all-in. Curious if he gets it against the Robo as well. Yep, he does. Okay. So it looks like it's just an all-around response. So Forge into cannons. Safety shield battery in the main base, so he can deal with a War Prism into the main as well. And the pressure's on herO. Pressure is on. herO going Prism first, jumping into the main. Gaining momentum. Void Ray has arrived, the battery's almost done. And MaxPax is holding. Adepts, they do get into the mineral line though, okay. Getting 1, getting 2. 2 probes go down, denies mining at the third base. Nice harassment here by herO. So far, so good. He harasses well. Still denying mining. Army's unloading in the main base, and MaxPax, he's blind. Yeah, he doesn't see. No, he doesn't see. Yeah, he doesn't see the unload. Army does move in. Yeah, Adepts, they do come into the shade here as well. The battery goes down. Voiders are exposed. The voids are being pulled. And can it catch one of the Void Rays? One more volley, so close. And hero's done it. Wow, herO, he has done it. He has broken the main. Again, we have all these cannons and shield batteries. They do nothing. herO, he has control of the main base. From here, he can go for the Void Ray. Gets 1. And one more volley will get the second. And nice juggling as well. GG gets called, and herO, he breaks MaxPax, and herO puts a point on the board. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, MaxPax, he did not see the warp in. He didn't see the juggling into the main base, the unloading into the main. We saw that Prism was able to sneak in, was able to stay on the edge of the main expansion, barely out of vision, barely out of range of the Void Rays, and slowly just ferry into the main base, unload everything, and commit into that main. There was a Void Ray on patrol, there was a Void Ray ready, and the Void Ray could have shut that down, but MaxPax didn't see. Again, it was just barely out of vision, didn't see the start, didn't see the War Prism, couldn't deny. GG. GG, well placed. And despite MaxPax committing into all those batteries, into the Forge, into the cannons, all that setup was at the natural, not in the main. Not in the main base. Now we're going to be loading into game number 4, and we'll see if herO can force the ace match, or we'll see if MaxPax can claim the series here and now. Let's go. Let's go. It's spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. 1 game away from claiming the series. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the South Green Protoss representing T1. It is herO. We go. Getting into game 4. Once again, MaxPax going for the gate expanded to Cybercore. Same build, the same build 3 games in a row. Again, MaxPax is very derivative, if you will. Like, once he finds a build that he enjoys in PvP, he sticks with it. And we'll see how herO reacts as he moves out with this probe. Does move out, so I will confirm the opener, we'll confirm the build. herO setting up in his own main. Now herO can pylon block, true. And he can force out a Cybercore, okay. So herO already disrupting the build. Yep, second pylon in the main base. So already a big delay. And forces out the Cybercore. So MaxPax forced to react, forced to respond. His own build is it's less efficient as a result. MaxPax even forced to make a Zealot. And herO from here could decide to expand. We're still on the fence when it comes to how he follows up. It just ensures that the Zealot is made. That's MaxPax just wants to expand. He has 400 minerals. Yeah, big delay here for MaxPax. Forced to throw down the pylon. We should be seeing that cancellation soon. Oh my god, it's getting close. Never mind. Oh, as he lets it finish and going for the cyber block. Aye, that was so close as well. herO forcing the probe off the pylon for a couple of seconds there may have been enough to allow the bind to finish. To let it complete. MaxPax, the entire purpose of this build was to get a faster Nexus, but it is so heavily delayed in comparison. To game 1. Oh, sorry, to game 2 and game 3. Stargate at a herO, Stargate at a MaxPax. A herO can go Phoenix and try to hard counter. Remember here, he scouted the Stargate of his opponents. He knows. Hallucinations coming in. herO does have that faster base, so herO has the better economy. And MaxPax scouts the Stargate. So big scout here for MaxPax. Still making the Oracle, though. Still making the Oracle. herO's aware. This is a big risk. A big risk, a big gamble. herO has to make sure this Oracle doesn't get cancelled. And herO should be hard countering this, or trying to. Where's the Phoenix? There we go. Phoenix is on the way. There's a cancellation. I like this out of MaxPax. Again, he had to wait for the probe to die, but he cancels the Oracle, going for the Phoenix instead. herO is slightly ahead when it comes to the Phoenix counts, and herO is already switching into Blink Stalkers. This is a little bit worrisome. It's a little bit worrisome. It is very difficult to get away with these tech switches. Not impossible, but difficult. Going Phoenix first into Oracle, yeah, big risk, big gamble. MaxPax, he scouts, he confirms on Oracle's on the way. MaxPax knows. Now, what's important is that MaxPax, he saw the Oracle. MaxPax didn't see the Twilight Council. Did not see the Council. Blink is on the way. Again, hero's going for that massive kind of Blink transition, Blink switch. Going for that tech switch. Meanwhile, MaxPax is going Phoenix into Immortals. What did herO see? herO, he did see the robot. Okay. It's important. So at MaxPax, he should be taking more defensive stance and slowly building up the Immortal count. I say that, he still is not fully aware as to what hero's up to. But he's not getting a second Stargate, which is enough of a tell. It does go for the die, it does pick up one of the Phoenixes. Nice pickup. Better trade for MaxPax. Gets a Phoenix, pulls away. Back at home, working on the Forge, building up his Immortal counts. I'm seeing only one Phoenix, and also the Stalks on the ground confirms that hero's switching into a ground composition. So MaxPax is aware. And the goal of these Phoenixes is just contain the opposing Protoss player, get into the mineral line, pick up some probes, find some key units, some key pickups. Let's go. Pokes in. There is going to be a window in time here where herO might be able to punish MaxPax as MaxPax takes a third base. Speaking of, third is now on the way. herO's is just not finishing. Yeah, big reaction. They slip in 5 probe kills. Oh my god. Nice bait. Very nice bait. Catching out 5 probes. Despite herO having the faster natural and faster third base, now down in workers. So nice harass here from MaxPax. Behind this, he's still building up his immortals, now switching into +1 in charge. Skipping blink. But again, there's a window in time pre-charge that herO can try to make use of this army and take advantage of his own blink. herO is rotating, looking for a way in. Sorry, just had to respond to something. We're good. But anyway, we've just been chilling. MaxPax is slowly just perfecting his army. Now, what's scary here, as we mentioned before, is that there was a window in time where herO had all these Blink Stalkers. He didn't really achieve much with it, to be honest. Like, he poked in, he pulled away, like, not much was really found. So MaxPax is, I would say, getting a superior composition. Building up his Archons, his Immortals, his Charge Lots, skipping Blink. I'm now getting concerned for herO. Oh, as one of Phoenix finally goes down. But again, herO's more mobile composition hasn't really achieved much. Meanwhile, there's no reason for MaxPax to move out. He just has to slowly build up more Archons, more Charge Lots. So just chilling back at home. His main army is taking more defensive stance. 4th base is on the way. Again, the pressure is more on herO. Now, over time, herO, he is catching up, but the one thing that herO will not catch up in is the Immortal counts. As that is now a 4th Immortal on the way, and the first Robo is just now finishing for herO. So MaxPax is going to be perpetually ahead in the Immortals. 4 more probes go down to the Phoenixes. Oof. Again, in a head-on fight, these Stalkers are not as effective. Oh! It doesn't get a Phoenix. Now, we could see herO take the plunge and go into a faster Disruptor production. Like, that is an option, that is a tech choice he could go for. Otherwise, in a head-on fight, he does have a healthy Archon count, true. Getting to 5 Archons. The way this works here is that the Archons are built to deal with the Zealots. We have massive amount of Zealots, of course, so the Archons are going to shut them down, ideally. Stalkers are going to be applying a lot of support in the back line. With a higher Immortal count, MaxPax's goal would be to break through those Archons and control the Stalkers. But we'll see how the armies engage. There's not much tag defense. MaxPax is building up his Archon count. Pushing in. He's going to commit. Yeah, he does commit in. Stalkers are get caught out. And we do have a bit of better concave here for MaxPax. He does collapse on the army. The Archons, they push in. The Immortals, they just go to town on the Archons. And Archons are going to get picked up. Ooh, Warping gets denied. And here he has to get the hell out of here. Let's get the hell out of here. Again, he pushed into a concave, into an arc of Archons and Immortals. herO pulls out. And what's scary about that engagement is that MaxPax retained his army. He retained his Immortals and most of his Archons as well. He retained those high-tech units. And hero's just being outscaled. And this is late. If you remember, we spoke about this like a minute ago, 2 minutes ago. One of the options that herO could have gone for is Disruptors, is rushing into a faster bay into Disruptors. This is a decision being made after he lost the fight. So late a decision here to go into Disruptors. This would have been necessary earlier if the plan was to get into a longer game. Denies the Warpin. Warpin is denied. hero's going for a second robo. Now, if given time, even though this bay is late, this decision is late, I still stand by that, but if given time, then he can recover. If he's able to get into 3, 4, 5 Disruptors, then despite having a smaller army and despite having less momentum, he can take a fight. Can take a fight. First Disruptors on the way. herO just needs more time. And MaxPax moves out. Yeah, for the first time this game, the main army does move out for MaxPax. He's got 10 Archons, 10 Archons, 5 Immortals. He's got the War Prism. And MaxPax, do we head for the 4th base or do we rotate over towards the 3rd? Oh, a lot of cannons. MaxPax moving in. A bit of an awkward engage from MaxPax. Nova does come in for a flank, but the Nova does not connect. Yeah, no major connection. And MaxPax, he should just barrel on through. Should barrel through here. Some wasted DPS with the Immortals. They're a little bit too far back. Cell Warpins are continuing. Oh, the miss rally, no. Misrise the Disruptor, and MaxPax, he is done. He has broken the main army. He has broken herO. Again, herO, he tried to get into Disruptors, but just too little too late. Too late, back to too late. MaxPax, he has done it. And hey, we got some mid-game here. We got there in the end. We got there. Novas, they go up. Massive connections. Again, great connections. We needed this 2 minutes ago. Aye. As MaxPax, he's rallying in, getting us over the first robo. Robo goes down. Nova's going up once again. Catching an Archon. But those are the final Novas. Okay, they were the final Novas. MaxPax breaks on through, pushing towards the mineral line. There's one more Nova available, grazing the army, catching one Stalker. And GG gets called. MaxPax, who will claim the series 3-1. And MaxPax will be the WardiTV Monday number 72 champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, MaxPax. He will claim the series. A very strong showing here by MaxPax, and a really chaotic series as well. Winding it back at game 1, game 2, and even game 3, a little bit, really just game 1 and game 2. Game 1 and game 2 came down to our initial builds, blind builds, might I add, as well. Remember what happened in game 1? Game 1, MaxPax blindly went for a 1 base all-in with a proxy robo, and game 1, herO blindly went for the greediest build possible, going gate expand, so herO heals blind countered. Game 2, we saw something similar, where blindly our players went for greedy builds, but MaxPax did out-greed herO, and herO couldn't punish. Likewise, herO, he had a hard time keeping up with the Oracle and Dead Paras, so herO, he just fell behind, he stayed behind. Game 3, we saw herO fight back and bounce back with an all-in with a proxy robo against the more greedy build of MaxPax. And here coming to game 4, we saw a really diverse early game. I really did enjoy it. herO blocking the base, delaying the expansion, going for his own Stargate. But if you recall, herO, his attempted Oracle play and his switch into Blink Stalkers left much to be desired, right? We were quite critical of his switch into Blink Stalkers, which didn't achieve any damage. He failed to deny the 3rd base, he failed to pick off any key units, he failed to outposition the army and get into a mineral line. The Mass Blink Stalker army didn't really achieve much, and we saw that basically MaxPax skipped it. He just skipped Blink Stalkers, went into a superior composition of Immortal, Charged Archon. And again, at one point he had like 5 Immortals. I do think that wasn't like the end of the game. herO could have definitely made the decision to switch into Disruptors earlier, and that could have given him a better chance, but it was a late decision. Like, he tried to commit and he overextended, pushing into the 3rd base, into a concave, and that was the moment that MaxPax won the fight and won the game. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations here to MaxPax. I'm most curious by his greedier build that he did against Classic in the semifinals. I feel like that's a little bit telling as to how MaxPax prefers to play PvP, and I'm curious to see how both Classic, herO, and Showtime and the other top Protoss players start to react to it, start to adapt to it. If you remember, Classic, he was going for a lot of triple gateway one base all-ins, like proxy gateways, against MaxPax with some mixed success against that greed. We saw that, of course, herO did find more success with a proxy robo, so we'll see kind of how what the consensus does kind of turn into and what the response is going to be against that greedier style from MaxPax. We'll see. Curious. I'm curious to see how the meta evolves between them in PvP. Otherwise, GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to MaxPax, does claim the win. And with that, let's catch up on the rest of our schedule here. So we're going to be wrapping up here for the day. Bearing in mind that Little League Cup, I think, just began. Like, Little League Cup, I think, is just now starting. We will not be casting Little League Cup live. We most likely will be casting it via replays. Little League Cup is a big event that's going on. It's an online tournament, group stage into playoffs. And again, I do want to cover it, but again, most likely via replays. It's just starting really late. It's starting just now, and it'll probably last like a couple of hours, like 3-4 hours, and I don't quite have as much free time in the evenings to kind of delve into that. So if you want some Little League Cup action, that is currently being casted by Rotterdam is covering that. I thought that Wardy was gonna try to cover that as well, but currently just Rotterdam. And again, we should be covering it as well, but most likely via replays, most likely next week or the week after that. Like, we have a lot of catching up to do. You can see here on our weekly schedule, we have to catch up with Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup replays are going to be covered here on the channel. We did miss out on Home Story Cup over the weekend, so we have a lot of catching up to do. We're going to be covering Group A tomorrow. That's going to be in around 12 hours time. 12 hours time, we're going to be live with Group A. We're going to have Group B on Friday, and of course, we have Group C on Sunday. So, continued group stage of Home Story Cup into eventually the playoffs. I'm still on the fence about whether or not I should cast the playoffs. I'm on the fence. We'll see. But at least the group stage we're going to be casting here on the channel. We have the RSL qualifiers on Saturday. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup on Sunday, and we have the Pondcast tomorrow evening. So you can see our schedule. We are currently Wednesday evening. That's where we currently are. And then tomorrow is going to be Home Story Cup into the Pondcast on Thursday. So plenty more StarCraft on the horizon here. Once we wrap up with Home Story Cup replays, which again will take like 2 weeks to go through, then we'll be getting to the Little League Cup replays. We'll get there. Do apologize for not covering it live, but again, we're just not as available in the evenings, especially like European time. Like, we're not quite available in that time slot to cast, at least not at the moment. So not quite able to commit to covering those events live. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you enjoyed the casting. Hope you enjoyed the StarCraft. If you want to support us, you can do so a couple of different ways. You can do so via following us or by supporting us on Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our Tuna Cup on a regular basis. It also funds Master Storm Open and Sea Duckling Open as well. It's all funded via the Patreon. Do I have a... Bam, there we go. As you can see, the graphic here on my left. Likewise, you can also follow some of the socials. If you enjoy some of the casting, if you enjoy some of the games, but if you cannot watch it live, then check us out on YouTube. YouTube is the place to be. All the VODs are uploaded on a daily basis, so plenty of VODs, plenty of content over on YouTube. Plenty of content. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up. You can head off now. I did want to give a brief IRL update. I know some people were asking about our pet bunnies and what's been going on. When it comes to what's been happening IRL, and one of the reasons why I'm no longer able to cast events at a more European friendly time is because 6 months ago we got some pet bunnies. We've been looking after them, and they're very active in the evenings, typically around this time, and that's when we spend time with them. So no longer able to cast at this time slot like previously. But one of the reasons why we casted so little in January, I feel so bad about it, but January we barely casted, were because of some health complications. We did actually provide an update regarding this a couple of weeks ago. But one of our pet bunnies had an abnormally low heart rate. We brought in our bunnies to be desexed, which is something that you do at around like 6 months, around 6 months of age. We brought them in. They noticed, shout out to our vets, by the way, they noticed that something was off about one of our bunnies. Had a very low heart rate, and did advise us to get an x-ray to get some better imaging. So went through with the x-ray, found that something was looking a little bit weird when it came to her heart. At least initially, that was the thought. And that was kind of like out of the expertise of our local vets, and they advised us to go to a vet hospital to go and see potentially a cardiologist, like a budding cardiologist. So then we had to book that appointment and get into that. Once that occurred, and then that's like an hour-and-a-half drive away. It's quite a journey, to get to our nearest like vet hospital. When there, we were able to get we did request some better imaging. They confirmed that the low heart rate was really weird and really abnormal. They conducted an EKG, they conducted an ultrasound as well, trying to figure out what was going on, and everything was fine. Like everything was looking normal, like relatively normal. Like there was still an arrhythmia and there was still a low heart rate, and they were just trying to figure out the cause of that. When we were about to be discharged, our pet bunny did start wheezing, and it started having trouble breathing as well. So then suddenly it was like, oh, like clearly this isn't like heart related, it's respiratory related. Because of that, they recommended that we do a CT scan. So we got a CT scan done to figure out what's going on. Did get eyes on her vocal cords. Her vocal cords were swollen. They were swollen, and there was like some obstruction going on there, and something like weird was going on. They did say that to get further confirmation as to what's happening, then we have to do an endoscopy, right, to like send a camera down her throat. And that was going to be done when she was going to be desexed. They confirmed that they could, because there was no issue with her heart, it's safe to sedate her and safe to go through with desexing and all of that. And while doing that, then they can also do the endoscopy, or they can also like send the camera down and see what's going on. That led to this morning. That's why earlier we were actually going to be casting Pegasus Cup, but we weren't able to cast Pegasus Cup because I was busy going to the vet. That's why we didn't cast Pegasus Cup this morning, so I do apologize. And while there, we confirmed that initially we thought it was like an abscess. Initially we thought there was something that was like stopping her from breathing properly, and something that was like obstructing and causing irritation. We found out that wasn't the case though. Instead, it looks like our vet theorizes it's like a birth defect, but we looked at the footage on the camera, and actually we saw her vocal cords. Typically when you're breathing, your vocal cords, they open and they close, like when you breathe in, when you inhale, when you exhale, your vocal cords, they open, they close. But for a pet bunny, they weren't closing properly. Like they were perpetually open, essentially perpetually open. Because of that, there's more irritation when it comes to her like larynx, when it comes to like her vocal cord area. There's more irritation, there's more swelling. She's more susceptible to that sort of thing as well. And yeah, it seems, again, like it's possible that maybe like her vocal cords were damaged at a really young age, or she was just like born with it. But like there's just something weird going on there, and there's not really much that can be done. There's like potential like laser surgery that could be done, or it could be, but it's like ill-advised, just because it's like a very high risk and high chance of like a fatality or something wrong happening during a surgery like that, especially on a bunny. So yeah, it's because of that, she's also more vulnerable to heavy breathing, and to potentially even like again not being able to like wheezing, and a little bit more susceptible to like anemia, to like other issues. So pneumonia, that's it, pneumonia. So yeah, we found out this morning. So it's been a rough January, it's been a rough year, and we're kind of like trying to figure out what to do next, and how to take care of her. But that's why we just haven't been casting much this month, or January coming to February. It's also why I haven't been as available to cast European events, just because we've been spending more time monitoring and looking after our pet bunnies as well, while they recover. So yeah, it's been a lot going on. Fun fact when it comes to our pet, her name is Chi-Chi, by the way, is that our vet was talking to us about like her condition, and about how there's nothing like this hasn't been necessarily like studied or recorded before. Like she was talking to her like colleagues, and even like having discussions with like human doctors and human surgeons and stuff like that, when it comes to advisement of what to do and how to approach this, and looking into other studies and looking online, and like there's like no other like records of this. It's like she's very unique when it comes to like what's happening with her vocal cords and the issue that's occurring. And so I guess there's that. She's very special. She's very special. She's great. She's very, very headstrong. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame that this is happening to her, but it's also been very expensive. It's been very expensive doing all the imaging and looking after her as well. Yeah, that's what's been happening here, and that's why we have been casting a little bit less StarCraft. And hopefully, you can see our schedule. We're kind of getting back into the swing of things. Like, you know, she's back at home, she's recovering, and hopefully everything can go well. But yeah, it's been a rough 2026. It's been very stressful, very little sleep, little casting, but hopefully we can get back into it as well. Hopefully. It's a bit of a shame that this happened now as well. We spoke during the podcast at the start of the year how important this year is going to be for StarCraft moving forward, especially post EWC. Now is not the time for us to not be able to focus on casting. Like we got to lock in, but we got to lock in. But yeah, it's been quite a month now, almost 2 months now. But yeah, we should be getting back into casting, and hopefully everything goes well, and hopefully there are no further complications or minimal complications moving forward. But yeah, otherwise gonna be heading off for the time being. Give some love to Rotterdam and some of the other casters that are covering the Little League Cup. I know that I think is Trigger casting.
The layer is super fast, so it just goes.
Trigger's we can give Trigger some love. Okay. Give him some love, Fat. Give him some love. He's casting. We'll give him a raid. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. Yeah, it's been rough year. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving Trigger a raid, give him some love, give him some support, and we should be back in around 12 hours with some more StarCraft with Home Story Cup. Again, everything that's happening with our pet bunny, like, things are looking, I would say, a little bit positive. Like, for the most part, should be okay moving forward, and should be able to get back into a regular casting schedule. Just did want to address the fact that, again, we've been casting a lot less recently. Like, we pride ourselves on casting more StarCraft than anyone else out there. That has not been the case recently. Other things have been happening, but it's all good. We'll be okay. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys in either 12 hours or 24 hours with some more StarCraft. See you then.